Couldn't fall asleep. I just couldn't fall asleep. I finished just cause 4. And I'm like, oh, hey, look at that. It's almost midnight. And everyone's asleep except Cappy. And I did not take my sleeping pills early enough because I'm an old man now and I need to take my sleeping pills. Now the computer's going to screw up. So, but I did want to, we got a bunch of videos that I wanted to do. Not leaving vacation. I'm on vacation. Thank you very much. I did want to talk about this. Several people like, oh, well, I'm thinking about moving to South Dakota too. And I gotta clarify something. This is an important distinction, important clarification, especially for you younger boys out there. Before you pick up stakes and move off to South Dakota. And I asked this one particular guy, I said, well, why do you want to go there? He said, well, I went there when I was a kid. The Blackers are really cool, and I want to get into motorcycle riding. And and then I said, okay, do you want to start a family? He's like, well, kind of, I don't know. Like, no. Do you want to start a family? He says, well, yeah, kind of. I'm like, well, you don't go to South Dakota. And I'll tell you the sad, truthful reason why. There ain't no good looking women in South Dakota. Now, naturally, I think the population is 700,000. Naturally, there are some good looking women in South Dakota. But guys, I'm just, especially for you younger types, I know I promote the virtues and like the merits of moving to South Dakota, but a big asterisk I think I should have to add is if you're done chasing women. Quite literally. Wyoming, I'd say the same thing, but I say don't move to Wyoming anyway because, well, you're not dumb enough. There's a stupidity requirement. You have to be this stupid in order to enter that state. And if you're not that stupid, if you're smart, you can't enter that state. That being said, yes, South Dakota is a great place to move if you've already sowed your wild oats. You have a family, you have a woman, or you've just given up and you're like, nope, I'm single, you're a confirmed bachelor. But if you are looking for a wife and because you want to start a family, you just want a wife, you just want a beautiful, this is not the place. The women are not that attractive here. And there's not that much nightlife, by the way, too, which one might argue with social media and online dating that has become moot and academic. But well, it's online dating is pretty much a waste of time for most people anyway. So that relegates you to go out into the real world and meet people in meet space. But if you go out into the real world and meet space, if you go to Miami, I'll admit the women are attractive there. You go to some major metro area, you might find some okay, reasonably good establishments and joints that are not loud, obnoxious nightclub. I don't even think they have those anymore. But there will be the occasional attractive young guy. Oh, the obvious one, Tempe, Arizona, over on the southeast side of Phoenix. Atham, look it up because of ASU, but good luck with that. So I understand, like, oh, I really, I saw the pictures and I went through it. Like, yeah, it's great. It's great if you like motorcycle in this one little spot of South Dakota too, by the way. We had somebody who's like, I'm thinking of moving to Brookings, South Dakota. What do you know about it? I'm like, I got to look that up. I'm like, no, you don't want to. No, that's not the pretty side. There's a small little sliver of South Dakota that's actually pretty, that has the big, not the big horns, the Black Hills, the Badlands, Mount Rushmore, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. Motorcycle riding, hiking, cliff jumping. You can jump into various rivers and streams and lakes out here. Hunting, shooting guns, panning for gold. You're not likely to find any, but it's something fun, just to get out there. Kayaking, pedal biking, running, everything, except crime, except for women. There are no, sir. It's bring your own girl. That's what it is. I think might even retell this. South Dakota, bring your own girl, because they're girthy. They're sturdy ladies out here, and don't let our governor fool you. If you look up our governor, she's an absolutely gorgeous woman for her age. She's a little older. I think she's 50 or so. Christy Nome, you can look her up. They don't look like that. Certainly not at 50. I think she's about the best you could possibly hope for, like at that age. But there are not any good looking girls here. And so, what I would recommend to you is to go elsewhere. I don't know where, but you're gonna it's bring your own beer. You have to bring your own babe. That's what you're gonna have to do here. So if you young boys are like, I can't wait to go, maybe if you went to college here, maybe uh, School of Mines, Black Hill State, Sioux Falls, meet a smart gal. There are pretty girls here, and hopefully you find a really smart one majoring in engineering. Oh, agriculture is big out here. That's I'll say there are some okay ranching gals. There's some good looking ranching gals, but man, for every one of those, you go to the Walmart, you're like, oh my God, is it nationwide? What happened? So just for that, if you are looking for a nightlife, if you're looking for the girlsa, this is not the place. This is not the place. And so I do apologize if I miss it. You'll have a grand old time otherwise, but you may have to go down to Denver or certainly Fort Collins, maybe Cheyenne, because that's the capital of Wyoming. But I could guarantee the closest you're going to find reasonably attractive women will be Fort Collins, Colorado, and they will all be Marxists. But what are you going to do? All right, let's go to super chat while Cappy tries to get tired. 7-Step Survival. He's helped me with getting my Star Wars arcade game repaired. Please subscribe to his channel. He does survival in the wilderness, and I haven't watched that many videos, but I was like, oh, he's in Montana. He's set up in Montana. If you want to play Captain Ahab and Harpooner Land Whale, move to South Dakota. Yeah, I mean, and it's not, this is not to slam on South Dakota specifically, but North Dakota is going to be the same thing. Montana, Idaho, definitely Wyoming. Also somewhat unjust in South Dakota. And the men aren't great catches here either, ladies, if you're thinking about moving out here. But you at least had a better shot, because I saw the same thing I saw in Wyoming, just to a lesser extent. But Wyoming, because the men, those are real men. I mean, they may have been on meth and may have lived in a shack, but they were real men. And so they were working in the mines or working on diesel engines or ranching, real cowboys. And they'd be in shape. And then they'd be with this Wampalo. Like, what in God's name? I'm like, look, I know pickings are slim, but don't you have any standard? Apparently not. It's kind of same thing here. There's some real cowboys out here. There's some guys. There's some, not a lot. Some guys work. They're not overweight. And then you look, you're like, really? I guess that's all of it. I guess that's what's on the grocery store shelves today. But yeah, if you were a younger man, you like, in addition to spending your time at the Big Four, you got to work at Wall Street. You got to work at where's all the nerds work? Silicon Valley. Maybe you find your girl there and you bring her back here. Like you put in your time there, you find your girl there, that kind of same thing. But for those of you who are in, I'm only slightly joking myself, because I want you, where should I move? I'm like, oh, I love South Dakota, but it may be, but it never dawned on me. Wait, you're young, you might want some girls. Yeah, better find one before you come here. So yeah, Florida and Vegas. Vegas is great. Vegas, there's plenty of girls there. And they're working, if you know what I'm saying. Yes, I know what you were saying. Donna Hannaford, our loyal until Terrence Popp is performing female supporter. $2 Australian. She has a super sticker. I don't know what it is because I can't see it. DJ Aftershock. Last time in South Dakota in 2009, nothing but people with girth and size of the rings of Uranus, mostly divorced to, rivaled by the Waukesha County WoW counties. Wow. World of Warcraft counties? World of Wyoming counties? Waukesha down by Milwaukee? Yeah, it's Wisconsin isn't exactly in the running for Miss America beauty pageant anytime soon either. That whole Midwest, upper Midwest, you can just, the mountain is, It's so sad too because the mountains are there. It's not like there's not an opportunity to go out and get thin. Really not. There are I'll tell you this, and it's kinda sad, but I've been here a year now, obviously coming in and out, but now I've started developing my regular patterns and habits, and I go to different venues, and I have my places I go. So there's a diner I go to, and there's one attractive gal there, and like if we're using United States standards, she's an 8. Very attractive, but she ain't no 10. South Dakota, that's a 10. Gorgeous. She's like, it's like, oh, sight for sore eyes. Then there was another gal I ran into, also at another venue I like to eat at. And at first, you're like, oh, she's kind of quirky, kind of even nerdy a little bit, even. But then as I spent a little bit more time, I'm like, yeah, for South Dakota, she's pretty hot. Yeah, yeah. It was like, "Oh, yeah, that's an interesting girl. She's kinda cute. Yeah, she's cute was the word." And then I'm like, "No, we gotta upgrade her to hot, don't we? We really do. We should." Oh, alright. That's it. We'll see you guys later. More on the way, toodles.